Hi folks, this is Karim Rao from our IT Visualizer channel. Today we'll continue our lab, the Matrix Labs, the video number 127. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have discussed how to use PS exec tool, which is one of the remote tools that can be used to solve problems concerning Windows. And this is one of the tools from the suite which is called Sysinternal suites or Microsoft Sysinternal suites. So this is very important tool, and we will try to discuss something related to the remote tools but more generic, and these tools can do a lot of things actually, which is Microsoft Sysinternal suites or Sysinternal suite, which we have discussed already PS exec as one of these tools. Today we will focus on Microsoft Sysinternal suites. We will see how it contains different tools that can help us solve problems concerning Windows remotely, or even troubleshooting or basic troubleshooting, network troubleshooting, CPU troubleshooting, memory troubleshooting, a lot of things actually, and they are very useful. Let's now see how we can use these tools. My reference to this topic is again a couple of videos from the Tech Savvy production channel. Uh, the first video is PS tools sysinternals. This is part 1, and we have another part which is PS tools sysinternals, which is part 2, and part 3 is mastering latency with PS ping. This is part 3. So the sysinternal suite contains a lot of tools. One of them are the PS tools, and one of these tools are the PS exec. So we will focus on the sysinternal suites in general, and I'll try to focus on PS tools specifically because they are very useful and help us to do a lot of things. So this is my reference, and how to download this sysinternal suites by going to Microsoft sysinternal downloads, and you can download the whole suite, or you can use it live from livesysinternals.com. These are the whole utilities. You can use them uh, live, okay, download and use them directly. And my reference also to discussing this topic is two PDFs. One PDF is troubleshooting with Windows Sysinternal tools guidance from the tools creators. This is a PDF, or this is a topic written by Mark Rozonovich, Aaron Margnos. I think I am spelling it correctly. These are the creators of the tools. So they have a PDF that talks how we can troubleshoot the Windows OS internal tools. Even they have some cases that was solved using the sysinternal suite. I will discuss them one by one and try to re-explain them in a simple way. So this is the first PDF, and the second PDF is the sysinternals PDF from Microsoft website. You can just go and download the whole PDF. Just go and tell him Microsoft Sysinternal suite. In the download section, you will find something called PDF. This will download the whole PDF for the whole tools, and each one there is an introduction to it and the parameters or the switches to this tool. So very simple. We will take these two PDFs and inject them to AI tools to let them explain these tools and create useful scenarios so we can explain the topic as a whole. Okay, so the first thing I have done, I have already uh, attached the sysinternal PDF from Microsoft that contains a lot of information concerning the tools, and asked it to explain. So see here, this is the prompt: explain troubleshooting with the Windows Sysinternal tools using the PDF in your project knowledge as a reference. Like, I'm a junior IT administrator, show this concept, how it works, provide real world scenarios, and include common pitfalls. So this is the explanation of Claude 3.7 Sonnet. As a junior IT administrator, you are going to encounter various systems issues that require investigation beyond what Windows built-in tools can offer. This is where the sysinternal tools come in. They are like a Swiss Army knife for Windows troubleshooting. There is about 70 different utilities you can use. They are created by Mark Brozonovich, now Microsoft Azure CTO, that help you to monitor system resources and processes, diagnose system and application issues, investigate security problems, automate administrative tasks. So if we go and see the tools, I have already downloaded them. This is the folder Sysinternals. This is the Sysinternal suite. As you can see here, these are all tools from Microsoft. Most of them, as you can see here, are exe files. I think they are portable. You can use them directly. They don't need setup. Just click on it and you can use it directly. Some of them are very useful, and they can save us a lot of time. And actually, we will see why sometimes you would prefer to use these tools uh, over, for example, PS Remote or PowerShell Remote or Command Shell Remote. We will see some situations that you are forced to use these tools. For example, when you have WinRM or Windows Instrumental or Windows Remote Management is not enabled, you will not be able to use PowerShell Remote. So PS Exec, for example, is preferable because you need only to have the SMB protocol enabled, or to have file and share or file and print sharing enabled on the machine. So PSExec can use this protocol SMB and connect to the machine and begin working with it. So you will see a lot of utilities. As we see, for example, some of them are, for example, Active Directory for AD Explorer. A lot of things actually we can see this applications. And as I told you, you can go to Microsoft and see a description of each one of these tools. So anyway, let's continue with the explanation of Claude. Uh, these tools are much deeper than Windows Task Manager or Event Viewer, giving you visibility into what actually happened on your system. So one of them, something called Process Explorer, which is something like Windows Task Manager, but on steroids, or on steroids, like this explanation says. It shows you detailed information about which processes are running, which file registry keys they have open, and what DLL they have loaded. So it's not only the application or the process, what files is opened by this process, what registry keys are opened with this process, what DLLs are loaded by this process. Very detailed info about each process or each application. Process Monitor, I think also in a couple of videos we have seen how Process Explorer is working. We have seen it from a couple of videos ago. Process Monitor also, we have seen this is real-time monitoring of file system registry and process thread activity. It's invaluable for tracking down issues where you need to see exactly what an application is trying to access. So for example, you can use Process Monitor to see when a freeze happen, what what is the details of this freeze. So this is like capturing real-time data, and then you can use it or analyze it to see what actually happens, okay, during the capture process, okay. And then we have auto run. This is one also of the very good tools that will let you know what automatically starts when your system boots or user logs in. Great for finding malware, troubleshooting slow startups, or removing stubborn software. And proc dump, this is to process dumps or to analyze memory dumps. We have seen such a utility, or we have alternatives for such a utility, for example from Nearsoft tools. We have seen something like that when we were talking about memory dumps. So these are famous tools that you can use from the sysinternal suites, okay. So how this work in practice: use Process Explorer to identify if application is consuming excessive CPU memory or if its threads are stuck. Process Monitor, while reproducing the freeze to see what files, registry keys, or network connections the application is trying to access when the problem occurs. So for example, if you have a freeze, we need to know during the freeze what files was accessed, what registry keys was accessed, what network connections are established, to know exactly how the freeze happened, okay. As pro proc dump, you can use it when application hang. Actually, have seen this before. If an application hangs, you need to create a memory dump and analyze it to see what is the application, why the application hanged exactly. And we see, for example, auto runs. This is also a program from the suite that will give you a lot of info concerning what loads automatically with the Windows and the user login process. So for example, we have a scenario here. A user complains that their computers become sluggish after a few hours of use, but Task Manager doesn't show obvious resource consumption issues. So you launch the Process Explorer and enable Show Process Tree to see parent-child relationship processes, sort by CPU or memory to identify potential resource hogs, check the handle count column. Abnormally high numbers might indicate a resource leak. Use RM map, another center to examine how physical memory is being used. If you suspect a specific application, use process monitor to filter for that application activity and look for patterns of repeated file or registry operations that might indicate insufficient coding. Don't worry guys, we will have exercises for each one of these tools. This is like a general overview, okay? After identify the problematic application, let's say it's constantly writing small bytes of data to a log file, you can address the issue by updating the software, adjusting its configuration, or implementing a workaround. Common pitfalls to avoid. Information overload. Process monitor especially can generate thousands of events per second. Always set appropriate filters before starting capture. That's correct. We have seen this when we're working with a specific case, especially when we are working with SFC or DISM. We have seen that I have used Process Monitor to capture the process of the repairing. We have seen that we have already applied a couple of filters to make the data displayed limited and focused. Okay, running with insufficient privileges. Many systems require administrative rights to function properly. Always run as administrator. Misinterpreting normal behavior is problematic. Learn what normal system behavior look like before jumping to conclusions, especially if you are monitoring CPU or memory or hard disk consumption. Forgetting to save your work. Tools like Process Monitor doesn't automatically save captured data. Save your logs before closing. No updating the tools. Always use the latest versions from Microsoft website or Microsoft Store to benefit from bug fixes and new features. So they are always or constantly updated. You can get them from live from the website, or you can download them from a Microsoft Store. Okay, you can simply to install these tools or to run these tools automatically, just download them from Microsoft Store and you can use them directly without any pre-configuration. And we will see that we need a little bit of a tweak. If you need to use these tools, you need to change your system environmental variables to point to the folder that contains these sysinternal suits. Anyway, we will see that when we come to the exercises. Okay, so these are common pitfalls. As we can see here, the answer is focusing upon 4 of the most important tools of Sysinternals. I asked him to give me the rest of the tools. So for example, we have access check. So shows you the access specific user groups have to resources like files, directories, registry keys. You can see a lot of data. I will not go through them because there are 70 tools, as we can see here. Congt defragments individual files to optimize performance. A disk to VHD creates virtual hard disk files from physical drivers for use in a virtual environment or virtual machine. We have a lot of things actually. Disk view, we have disk usage. So we can see here, this is the description of each one of these tools. We can see this is a lot of useful ones. So the first section of these tools are file and disk utilities. These are all of the utilities. Then we have process and diagnostic tools, auto runs, portmon, proc dump, process explorer, process monitor. And we have seen, for example, ps exec executes process remotely, ps kill kills processes by name or the Windows process or application process. ps list shows information about processes and threads. ps service views and controls Windows services. So you can see a lot of utilities here. These are all process and diagnostic utilities. And we have network utilities. TCP view show detailed listing of all TCP and UDP connections. So for example, you can use this utility to know which connections are established to your server or to your workstation. And we can use the other utilities to measure network performance, for example, PS ping, latency, and bandwidth. We have a whole video to discuss this utility. PS file shows files opens remotely. So these are all useful utilities. who is performs, who is lookup to identify domain owners if you need to know, for example, who owns www.google.com, so it gives you certain information about websites. Security tools, we have auto login, enables automatic login to Windows, login session list, active login sessions. All of these are very, very useful utilities. PS logged on shows who logged onto system locally and via resource sharing. So these are security tools. System information tools, PS info list information about local and remote systems. We will see how this is very, very useful. Miscellaneous utilities, big info, which is very, very famous tool. It's like a screensaver, or it is like a background that will display the system information of your machine on the desktop background. This is very, very widely used by IT, especially on servers. If you need to open the server and know the configuration from the desktop background, this will help you. Big info. And we see a lot of miscellaneous utilities. Not my fault. This is two. We have used this utility to create a crash manually. We see a lot of Zoom. It is also a very, very good tool for explaining and annotation. Actually, I have seen it used by a couple of YouTubers. I'm eager to use it. Actually, it's very, very simple and very, very useful. PS shutdown that optionally restarts local or remote computers. Is very, very useful if you need to shut down a couple of machines by one command. So as we can see here, these are very, very simple tools. As we can see here he is giving you when to use the right tool. Performance issues, you can use these tools. Startup problems, auto runs, application crash, proc dump, and debug view. Security concerns, sysmon, access check, and access enumeration. Disk space, disk usage, DU, and when dir stat. Real world example, when troubleshooting a slow computer, use process explorer to identify resource intensive processes. Use RM map to analyze memory usage. Use autoruns to check for unnecessary startup programs. Use process monitor to trace disk activity. Use TCP view to check for suspicious network connections if this is a malware. Common pitfalls, we have seen the common pitfalls before. Getting started, you need to download it from Microsoft website or install it from Microsoft Store. Create a USB with these tools for portable troubleshooting. This is one very, very good advice. Familiarize yourself with documentation available on Microsoft website. Practice in a test environment before using in a production. Join this internal forum to learn from other administrators. This is also a good thing to go to Sysinternals forum. Let me see if we can go to sys internal forums, sys internal suite, or sys internals forum. Okay, let's see if, okay, this is the community. So I think I need just to just have it as a favorite. This is the community. Follow on Twitter, follow on Twitter, follow, search and post questions on Microsoft Q&A. Twitter, follow Sysinternals, search and post questions in Microsoft Q&A. This is, I think, like an archive. Here you go. This is the Sysinternals advanced sign in to follow. Let me see if I can follow it. So I think I can follow it through my email address. Next. Okay, that's it. Next. Okay, create my profile. Okay, let me get some data just to sign in, just to make sure that I have already everything, or I can follow up any problems. Okay, all set. Okay, back to learn. So now we have everything now set up. We have the content, As we can see here, a lot of maybe added or content concerning with sysinternal related tags, print monitors gone after changing them. So we can see a lot of things here. You have all questions 1.2k. Okay, a lot of useful data. We can use it later. So this is the answer of a Claude 3.7 Sonnet. If you go to a Gemini 2.5 Pro, we will see also another answer when I ask him to explain this topic. We'll see that uh, imagine you are a mechanic. Windows Task Manager is like a dashboard for a car. It tells you the speed, RPM, fuel level, the basics. These tools are like the advanced diagnostic computer, the master mechanics plugin. They will tell you exactly what's happening deep inside the engine, transmission, and electronics, way beyond what the dashboard shows. So this is a simple analogy to explain the sysinternal tools. What are the sysinternal tools? They are suites of free, powerful utilities created by Mark Rosenberg, a legendary figure at Microsoft, now CTO of Azure, and others. They let you peek under the hood of Windows in incredible detail. You do not usually install them. Most are single.exe files you can just run. Why should you care how this concept works? Standard Windows like Task Manager, Event Viewer, Resource Monitor are good, but often they do not give you enough detail to solve tricky problems. When a user says my PC is slow or this application keeps crashing or getting a weird error, Task Manager might show high CPU usage but not exactly which function inside the process is causing it. Event Viewer might log an error but not what led up to it. So sysinternal suites uh, bridges this gap. They provide deep invisibility into processes and threads, what programs are running, who started them, what resources, files, registry key, network ports they are really using, what specific DLLs or functions are active, and how much CPU individual threads are consuming, not just the whole process. File system activity. See every file read, write, lock, or delete attempt happening system-wide in real time. Great for finding out what program has a file locked. Sometimes this is very, very useful. For example, if you having a program that have lock a file and try to edit this file, uh, so you will not be able to do that. So you need to know which program is locking that file, especially if you do not see the program running. Maybe it's running in the background, so you need to have a couple of utilities to solve the issue like that. Process Explorer can help you do that. Registry activity. See every registry key being opened, read, written, or deleted. Perfect for troubleshooting permission issues or finding what an application stores its setting, where an application stores its setting. Network activity. See which processes are making network connections to where and on which ports. This is useful when you are troubleshooting a hacking process or something. Auto start. See everything that's configured to run automatically when Windows start or you login. Way more locations than Task Manager or misconfig show, essential for finding malware or bloatware. So again, a useful explanation. I have the book Troubleshooting with this internal suits or with this internal tools written by Mark Rosenberg and Aaron Magors. Is the official guide. It doesn't just list the tools, it explains the underlying Windows concepts. You need to understand the tool's output, demonstrate practical techniques, walk you through real-world troubleshooting scenarios, cases of unexplained. This is a whole section for cases troubleshooted by sysinternal tools, allowing you to showing how the tools were used to solve specific, often complex problems. So we can see here, for example, analyzing the book, Process Explorer, PROC XP. As we can see, this is the program, Process Monitor, Auto Run, Real World Scenario. Problem: a user tries to save a file from application X into a specific network folder, but gets an access denied error. They insist that they have permissions because they can save other files there. even from application X sometimes. Standard tools, you can check their group membership in Active Directory, look at the folders NTFS permissions, check the share permissions, everything looks okay. Event viewer logs might just show a generic error, if anything. Systematic approach or sysinternals approach, use procmon. Ask the user to get ready to reproduce the error, start procmon capturing events, ask the user to try to say saving the file and trigger the access denied error, stop the procmon immediately, filter the trace, set an include filter for the process name is application X, so to focus on the application X from the captured data. Search and scroll. Look near the end of the filter trace for operations with the result of access denied. Discovery. You find a create file operation targeting the network folder path showing access denied. Okay, that confirms the error, but why? So maybe the problem is the network share. Deeper, you look at the details of a specific create event, file event. The desired access field shows generic write, but you may also something less common like write DAC, meaning try to change permissions. I don't understand. Let's go further and see even deeper. Call stack. You examine the call stack for that event. You might see functions related to saving temporary files, creating log files, or perhaps even third-party plugins like a backup agent or data loss prevention software hook trying to perform an action that this user doesn't have permission for, even if they can normally write files. Solution. Let's see what was the cause. Based on the stack details, you realize that it's not basic file writing permissions, but perhaps a specific advanced permission missing, or interference from security software. You adjust the specific permissions or configure the security software correctly. Procmon shows you the exact operation and the context that failed. I don't think this example is good. Common pitfalls to avoid. Procmon overload, we have seen this. Running without elevation. Misinterpreting errors, forgetting the baseline, closing tools too soon, ignoring the book. So as we can see here, this is the explanation of Gemini. Doesn't add that much. If we go to, sorry, I have already Grok also explained this topic. If I go and see the last, let me get you uh, the last answer I have, or the last chat I had. So if we go further, let me show you how this was explained. So here you go. This is the explanation. So here is explanation. Hi there. As a junior IT administrator, you are probably getting used to chaos of fixing Windows systems, slowdowns, crashes, or weird error messages that do not make sense. Troubleshooting these problems can feel like a guessing game, especially with basic tools like Task Manager don't tell the whole story. There is where the sysinternal suite comes in, a set of powerful utilities designed to help you to dig into Windows systems, figuring out what's going wrong and fix it. The PDF, so the PDF of Mr. Mark Rodenberg, you have got details to use these tools packed with everything from introduction to the suite, a list of utilities, usage instruction, and extra resources. It's like your troubleshooting handbook. I'm here to break it down for you. What are the sys internal suites? Troubleshooting is all about finding and fixing problems in a system on Windows that could mean anything from a computer running slow to an app crashing or even a malware infection. Sys internal suites created by Mark Rosenvich and available from Microsoft is a collection of over 70 tools that give you a deep dive into what's happening inside your system. Unlike Task Manager or Event Viewer, these tools show you detailed info about processes, file and disk activity, registry, network security. How does it work? Each sysinternal tool focuses on a specific part of the system. You download the suite from individual tools from the website of Microsoft, unzip them and run them. No installation needed. Here is a quick look at how these tools work. Process Explorer, we have seen the explanation of Process Explorer, auto runs, process monitor, a real world scenario. You have a program, or you have something called, or the user is complaining that the computer is crawling or slow. You pop up open task manager, but the CPU and memory state doesn't scream problem. Here's how we'd use sysinternals to crack the case. Fire up process explorer, spot a process like a random backup.exe eating 60% of CPU, right click, check the properties and see it's unassigned with no company name. Suspicious. You would kill it to see if this speeds up, then investigate further. Peek at autoruns, open autoruns and scan the startup list. Find the same backup.exe set to launch at boot from a registry key, disable it, and reboot to test if the slowdown stops. This is like a malware case. Step deeper with process monitor. If the issue is still murky, you run process monitor and let it logs activity for a minute. Filter by that process name or high activity disk. This activity may be constantly writing to a temp file, could be a bug or a malware. Now you have got a lead to follow. Not that good. The common pitfalls to avoid: misreading the data, skipping updates. You need to make sure that you have the latest up-to-date internal tools, getting lost in permissions, drowning in data. This is actually correct because these tools gives a lot of data. Rushing in. Getting started as a junior IT admin, practice, learn more, ask questions. So, okay, I think maybe the explanation is fair enough. As for ChatGPT, I didn't see that his answer is that good. I just only also see here, this is the answer. It is very, very generic. It doesn't give us any real data. So I will skip the explanation of ChatGPT 03, which is the least answer from my point of view. Now we can go further and ask him to create hands-on exercises to explain each of these tools. First of all, we have access check. Learn to verify user and group access permissions. For example, run access check minus C users C windows to check what access the user groups had the users group has to the Windows directory. So for example, how to use the utility. First of all, as I have just told you, you just download the utility. Okay, so I have already downloaded and unzip it, and then we have this internal suits. Before running it, you need to do something. So you have unzip it. Now you need to do this step. Right click this PC, then properties, then you go to the advanced system setting, and then you have environmental variables, and you go to path. Make sure you have this and edit, and add the location of these tools to your environmental variables. So you can just run it by opening a normal command prompt without the need to go to the location that contains the utility itself. So let's try to now use one of these utilities. Let me get, for example, this answer. So for example, if you go and tell him to run and see who has access, or check the users local users group and its access to the C Windows, what permissions the local users group has to the C Windows folder. So if I go to CMD, and then we need to run as an administrator, now we can run this and tell him that, as we can see here, this is the utility launched. So I tell him agree. So he's talking about error opening C Windows. The file name, directory name, or volume label syntax is incorrect. No matching objects found. So this is a little bit strange. The file name, so there is no C Windows. Actually, there is. So maybe because I am opening or I am working on it. So let's try to go to the departition, for example, and then run the same command. The file name, directory name, or label is syntax is incorrect. So maybe the syntax is not correct. Let's go again and see. Maybe I have this syntax is not correct. So let's go to Microsoft website. So we have the Sysinternals suite, and then we have let me just see a couple, or let me see the syntax. Maybe I have a problem here with the syntax. Where is the access check? And let's go to the installation. So we have here, these are the parameters. So the parameter is minus C, name in Windows service, name in a Windows service, specify to show all access check, minus C, minus E, minus F, minus H. So let's see. If you specify a user or group name and the path, access check will report the effective permissions for that account. I'd like to show how we can do that. Let me see. For example, okay, so here is power use. So okay, I think it is between quote maybe. So we don't need to have minus C. Just put the name. So let's try to modify the parameters. So here, let's do like that and see if this will help. So as we can see here, this is the correct syntax. Now we have the whole folder. As we can see here, these are the users group. They have read to most of the folders, and some of them, most of them are R. We have read and write to the temp folder, the tracing folder. So I think this is a good thing. But what is about this C, minus C? So this is not minus C. Minus C here means that name a service, example, so specify to show all services and manage to check the security of. So here I am giving him a Windows service name to list who has access to this service. Okay, let's do this, but with a different parameter. If you go there and give him a service name, let's try to do like that. But we don't need the C. So here, why you do not need the C? Actually, what we need only is the service itself. So if you go there and try to get a service name, for example, let's go and see services like this one, and get, for example, let's go to the Windows Update service, for example. Okay, Windows Update service. So here you go, this is the Windows Update. This is the name of the service, so we can copy it and see if this will help us. So we have here effective permission for secureable objects. We see that the one has access to this service is authenticated users, read and write built-in administrator. Very, very useful. So we can see here that we have, or who has access to this service. Very, very useful. So this is one of the good case scenarios. So if you go and see, this is C user, C Windows. So check what access the user groups has to the Windows directory. This is not correct. Okay, minus C is not the correct syntax. This one, WUO, everyone, base named object, to see what objects everyone can modify. So let's see also this thing, or this parameter, what it will do exactly. If I go there and ask it to make it CLS and then try to run this one, so here he got something called, where it is, these are base objects. What are the base named objects? I need to have this explained in a certain. Let me get this one, copy, and ask Grok to explain it, because actually I don't know what this means. Explain this code in simple terms. Let's see how this. So let's see what this will do exactly. So as we can see, access check will give us a quick preview about the permissions for services, for folders. So it is very, very useful, okay? A quick view to get permissions without a graphical interface. So here is the explanation. Minus, let me see. Okay, so think of base name object as a control room for programs, full of switches and buttons. The command checks which of those switches or buttons anyone can flip or press, even if they are not supposed to. If too many are open to everyone, it could mean that the system isn't as secure as it should be. So let me get further and see the explanation of the parameters. So access check, this is normal. W means show only things that can be written to. Minus U tells the tool to hide any error messages if it runs into problems while checking. Minus O says that you are looking at special system object, not regular files or folders, especially in the object manager part of Windows. Everyone, this is a group that being checked, the permissions for every group on the base name object. This is a system folder, not not one you would see in File Explorer, where Windows keeps things like events, mutics, or semaphores. These are objects that programs use to communicate or control each other. So this is a very, very good explanation. But what about this data provided by it? So let me to get this data and try to explain it, because actually I don't know, or I cannot comprehend most of this data. So if I got it and ask Grok to explain it, let me get this one. Let me go, here you go, this is the data. So we can go further, up, up. So we can go up. I need to see what this data means exactly. So here we go, we can go further. I need to get it. So here you go, up and up and up and up. So no, let me see if I have some data left. Okay, so I think I need to get it from up to down. So here we can get it more quickly. So here you go, we can copy that. Okay, this is the output of this code. Give insights, extract insights, explain in simple terms, arrange in a table. So let's see what this data means exactly, and hope it gives a good answer. So it will take some time to analyze the data to see what this could mean. But from what I see of the answer of Grok, it gives us who has access to critical Windows objects. Okay, the last command, access check, minus SQWV net authority system C to check which file's system account has write access to it. What to observe? Notice which permissions different users have and identify potential security issues. So by this command, we will see the system user or the local system user on the Windows, what permissions it has on the C. Okay, this is also one of the good things to make sure, or what are the permissions of net authority system user on the C. So let's see again what is the things. Anyway, let me see the answer of Grok. If I go further and see, so let's see the answer here. Okay, insights from access command output. Okay, we have seen that this is a directory in Windows system that can be modified. Okay, so what are these objects? These objects are special items in Windows used by programs to communicate or manage tasks. For example, events, signals that tells program when something happened. Button is clicked or a gesture is detected. Mutants, locks that prevent multiple programs from messing with the same thing at once. Sections, directories. What does everyone having access mean? RW, they can read and write. W, they can write. Since everyone includes all users, this means anyone logged into the system could potentially alter these objects, which might affect how programs work. What are these objects used for? So some of these objects that we have seen the permissions on it, touchpad related objects. Many objects start with ETD, like ELN touchpad driver. These controls, okay, so this is one of the things that are listed. Who has access to the touchpad of my laptop? Okay, team viewer suggests that the team viewer remote desktop use some of these features, Windows features like uh, uh, managing notifications or titles, other programs like, so we have some programs listed in the output of this command. If this problem, the data, normally only specific users of programs could change this object. If everyone can modify them, someone could accidentally or intentionally disrupt things. For example, changing a touchpad event might stop gesture from working. So actually, everyone has read to something like that. Let's see the summary of the findings. Most objects, over 150, are events with RW access mainly for the touchpad. A few mutants 7 and one section and directory also have RW access. Two objects, one event or one mutant have only W access. Let me see the summarization. So we have read and write. Everyone has read and write to 153 objects related to gesture team viewer. We have write event to 2 objects, which seems, I don't know what this specifically means. These are events. Mutant RW7. We have 1 and 1 and 1. Explanation of the table. Events RW. The vast majority are touchpad related, with a few of team viewer, Windows notification, and other system tasks. Too rare. We have mutants section directory. Conclusion. In simple terms, the output shows how many system objects, mostly touchpad controls, but also some for team viewer, can be changed by a user or a computer. Okay, this might be fine for some system, but it could also let someone mess with your touchpad, remote access notification. If security is a concern, you might want to limit who can modify these objects to just the programs or the users that need to. First of all, what are events? You have already given us an explanation about what is an event. Event signals that tells programs when something happens. So you can control the touchpad. Okay. Mutants locks that prevent multiple programs from messing with the same thing at once. Sections, shared memory, areas the program used to store data, directories, folder that organize these objects. let me explain in layman terms, just to make it more simple. Layman's terms. Let's see if you can give us another explanation. Just to make it more simple to understand. So as we can see here, this thing is good, or this utility is good if you go there and get this command and try to give it to again give it to so I think here there is a lot of things actually. As you can see here, a lot of things that let me try to control it. Control C. So as you can see, these are all files that the system or the local system user has access to it. If we try to, we can change the user here to any other user we need, and we can change the location to any location we need. But here we need to see what is minus SQWV. If we see here Microsoft switches, as we can see here, minus S recurs, minus Q. Where is the Q? Here I do not see the minus Q parameter. Let me also again take the command itself and ask Grok to explain it. But before that, we need to see how he explained that in layman terms. Let me explain this in a way that's simple and easy to understand. Imagine a computer like a big house with lots of control panels, like light switches, thermostats, or door locks. These controls help different programs talk to each other and work properly. In computer terms, these controls are called objects. They are kept in a special folder named base name objects. When you run that command, it's like you sent a security guard into the house to check which of these control panels can be messed with anyone who walks in, not just the people who are supposed to use them. Here, anyone means every user on your computer, even guests or people without special permissions. The output you got is the guard's report. It lists all the control panels or objects that anyone can change. Most of them seems to be tied to your touchpad, like setting for tapping, sweeping, or scrolling. There are also some programs like TeamViewer, which lets you control your computer from elsewhere, from someone elsewhere, and for Windows features like notifications. Okay, what does this mean to you? If anyone can fiddle with these controls, it might cause some issues. For example, someone could tweak your touchpad setting, make it annoying or hard to use. They could mess with TeamViewer, maybe stopping you from connecting remotely. They might even change how Windows shows notification or handles tasks. Just a moment, guys, just a moment. So let's continue, guys, here. Think of it like leaving the keys to your house under the doormat. Anyone could find them and start flipping switches. This might not be a big deal if you are the only one using the computer, but if you share it with others or care about security, it could be a risk. Should you worry? Not necessarily. If you are the main person using your computer and trust everyone who has access, this probably wouldn't cause trouble. It's like your computer is broken or hacked. Means that some of these controls are set up to be open to everyone by default. For most home users, that's fine. But if you are in a shared space or you want to be extra careful, you could look into locking these things down so only certain programs or users can touch these controls. The bottom line, the command you run is like checking which doors in your house are unlocked and can be opened by anyone. The report shows that a bunch of them, mostly tied to your touchpad, and some programs are wide open. If that bothers you, you can tighten things up, but for many people it's not a huge deal. It's just good to know what's going on. So this is very, very good. Let me tell him to explain this line of code in simple terms. Just make sure what this code means exactly. So we have like that and see what it will mean. So as we can see here, this is the first utility, check disk. Then we have access enumeration, identify unusual permission setting, launch access neom and scan C program files, look for files or folder where permissions differ from parent folders, identify any folder that grants write permissions to a non-administrative user, what to observe, inconsistent permissions that might indicate security gaps. So access neom, it is a uh, graphical program or a command prompt problem or a command prompt program. Let me first go and see, but before that let's read the answer of Claude concerning my code or the code. So here let's see, here it is. Okay, minus q minus s, look inside all folders. Minus q quiet tells the quiet not to show extra stuff like a welcome message. It keeps the output clean and simple. Minus W means show only places where writing or change is allowed to write. V verbose. So this is what this command means exactly. Uh, very simple. Okay, show me every file and folder on the C drive that you have, as the system can edit, and tell me exactly what you can do with each one. So okay, this is very simple. As for access enum, let me see if this utility is a graphical one. So I go to Sysinternals. Here you go. This is it. And access enum. Here it is. I think this is a graphical one. Let me open it or run as administrator. So as we can see here, you just give him displays who has access to items within a directory or a registry key. So thus you can, for example, let me go and change the directory. For example, let me go to a certain folder for my ID, and for example for this folder, Kai, and tell him to uh, this is for the folder scan. So we can see here we have who has access to this folder, read administrators, net authority, authenticated users. Users have write permissions, administrators, net authority, authenticated users. So uh, can we save this output? Save. This can be saved as a text file, so you can get the permissions and export them as a text file. So also good utility like access check, but I think this is a graphical one. So this is a good thing. As to contig, defragment important files. Here, for example, you can tell him to scan a file to analyze fragmentation. Uh, uh, so it defrag a file, not a partition. So this is a good thing. Run the analysis again to see improvement. What observe the before and after fragmentation state of the file. So let's see, for example, if we can copy this file or copy this prompt and ask it to, for example, analyze a certain file. Let me see if I do like that, and let me get, for example, maybe I have uh, this file. Let me try to get its path. So here you go, just shift and left click, or shift and right click, solely copy as path, and then let me try to get the pass here like this one and see if it will do something like that. Here we can see also the license agreement. So number of files, summary of files, uh, summary number of files processed 1, number unsuccessfully processed 0, average fragmentation 1 frags file. So I didn't see any I don't know if this means anything. It doesn't give us uh, any output that I can know. For example, let's go to Microsoft and see the utility itself. If you go to cont, where is cont here? This is the utility. Let's see if it will give us. So here you go, analyze fragmentation. Cont can also analyze the friend the NTFS. How it works. Let's try to see if there is an example. Doesn't give us much data. Just the parameters. Okay. So anyway, the data feels, I think, average fragmentation 1 frag. So I don't think it contains. Let me get, for example, an audio file. Maybe if I get an audio file, it maybe contains or it can be fragmented. Let me try to get that. Just a moment. Here, copy as pass, and let's try to see if it can also analyze an audio file. Maybe it is fragmented. 9 frags slash file. 9 frags per file. So that means okay, so he's saying that in 9 fragments okay, let's see the answer. He's saying it is defragmented. Is defragmented. So let's see the output. The output says that is defragmented. So this is good. As for this, it is in 9 fragments. It didn't give me any, so this maybe is the output that I need to focus on. It is defragmented. As for this, is saying that it is in 9 fragments. So I think he is talking that it is need to be defragged maybe. Let me try to defrag it actually. I will do that and try to change the parameter. Let's see if we tell him to how we can defrag it. We can just tell him analyze. So we just tell him the location and that's it. So if we go and try to run or tell him to defrag, let's try to do this. So we will close this or do that and try to see if it will be defragment. Let's see if this. So he's taking number of files defragmented 1, average fragmentation before 9 fragments per file, average after fragmentation. Let's try to analyze that. So now it is defragmented. Okay, that's good. I think this is maybe a good thing. If we try, let me try. Okay, I can open it later, or let me try to open the file itself. Let's try to do that. Okay.
Ever feel like you're staring down the barrel of an impossible deadline?
So I think this is a good utility. As for disk.to-bhd, this is to change a disk to a virtual disk. I don't need this, or I cannot use this actually. Diskmon monitors this activity during typical operations. Start diskmon and minimize it to the tray. Open and close several applications while observing the icon. Return to disk mode and review the captured activity. So this is something like to capture disk activity. Okay, and I think also this is uh, this is a utility, or this is a graphical utility. So if you go there, here is diskmon 64. If you try to open it, so try to open that. So this is it. So here you go. This is it's monitoring. So I close it because actually it will do a lot of activity. So I think this is good. I will stop at this one, but let me first try to see it. Identify space usage patterns. This will give you get SV output of your user directory. Okay, so I think when I give him this command, it will give me or list the files in the folder and their space. Maybe let's try to see that. So for example, if I get this and try to give him, for example, I will give him a folder of mine I know quite well. Let's first go and see. Let's make CLS and then try to do like that. But first of all, let me get so here what he's talking about here, this one, to get CSV output for your user directory. So he will get me a list of what is in this folder. Okay, let me change the folder to one, for example, like this one, this is internal suite. If I go there and change it like this and do like that, let's see, and try to read that. Pass current file count, current file size, file count to directory count, directory size on disk. We have current file size 162 so and so. I think the output is not that good. Let me see again the answer. So here to see detailed directory sizes, what to observe. So this is another thing also to see. Open the CSV. So I think I need to put at the end CSV. Let's see also the parameter, because I think it's not that correct. Where is the file? It's called D or disk usage. Here is the utility minus C output. Okay, so this is it, a CSV that delimited. So output is formatted like that. So I need to do like this and do like this and tell him slash files dot CSV. Okay, let me see if I have it created maybe in the folder. If I can see it, no, there is nothing. Okay, here is the EOLA. Let me see the type. Maybe there is a CSV file that will be created here. So I think it's only in CSV output, okay, not or CSV format. So the output is formatted like this. So minus C. Here you go. This is the pass. So okay, I don't think it is there. So anyway, let's get the other parameter. Just a moment, guys. So let me guys see if he can analyze the logs and see, for example, the space. Maybe this is something useful. So let's do like this, and so this is good. Now he got the location. We have uh, total. We have 280 files. We have 15 directory. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14, actually 14 or 15. Size are 50 megabyte disk on size. So this is good to get minus v. I think this is verbose. If I try to get this is show size in kilobytes. Okay, so good thing, actually a very good utility also to make something like that. So we will stop at this part. The second one will be something called sdelete, securely delete sensitive files and can free some space. So I will stop at this utility and continue with God will in the upcoming video. Hope this video is informative to you all, and thank you all for viewing. Thank you so much.